Umar Khalid has been in jail for 4 years, and each day that each of them is in jail is something that we should be deeply ashamed about. Just to start with a small, just with some statistics, because we're in Delhi, our Chief Minister is also in jail, but we're talking about 2020 when there was this marvelous movement where all the citizens of Delhi came together against the discriminatory, unconstitutional Citizenship Amendment Act. And all those people, all those young people who talked about equality before the Constitution, who talked about love, who talked about freedom, who talked about the fact that this country was born in struggle, and that struggle was meant for everybody to be equal and not to have religion enshrined in our laws. So many of these young people are in jail today for the last 4 years. The Delhi police has arrested 2,619 people in connection with the February 2020, and everywhere we look, whether it's Delhi of 2020 or the BK16 after the Elgar Parishad, every movement for equality has been converted into an attack against those people who were struggling for equality. So when you leave today, I beg you, please go on to YouTube, listen to the songs of Jyoti Jatav, Sagar Gorkhe and Ramesh Gaichor, and you will be transformed because they sing so beautifully against caste. Listen to the speeches of Umar Khalid, which are available on YouTube, and you will be transformed because he's talking about equality and love. He's talking about the need for love among all citizens of this country. But these are the people who the Delhi police, the Pune police in the country have arrested. 2,619 people were arrested in connection with the Delhi riots. 53 people were dead, 581 injured. The majority of those affected were Muslims, and yet the majority of those who are in jail are Muslims. All those who were arrested for the Delhi riots and continue to be in jail among the students are young Muslim students. Of those arrested, 2,094 are currently out on bail, and 172 people still remain in jail. I don't know if you've read Umar Khalid, the account of Umar Khalid and his summer in jail, where the hot winds of Delhi's loose, coming to the jail bars because they're not closed. If you've read about the Kashmiri prisoners who cannot bear the heat of summer in Delhi and what they have suffered, and you think about मुझे तो AC की बीमारी लग गई है और बाकी जो जेल में जो लोग हैं उनके साथ क्या हो रहा होगा, आप प्लीज सोचिएगा. Charge sheets have been filed in only 51% of the case, and Saurabh will give us all the details of the Delhi riots. About the BK16, as you know, some of them are out on bail. Stan is dead, killed by this system who did not recognize a Parkinson's patient, did not give him a sipper, did not take him to jail when he was sick. Stan, who spent his whole life working for Adivasis in Jharkhand, who came from Tamil Nadu and gave up his life for the Adivasis of Jharkhand because he wanted to experience what all of them were experiencing. His work had been on under trial prisoners in Jharkhand and how 99% of those accused of being Maoists were actually innocent. Stan died. Sudha, Arun, Shoma, Vernon, Varvara Rao and Gautam and Anand are now out on bail. But Surendra Gadling, Mahesh Raut, Rona Wilson, Sudhir Dhawale, Hani Babu, Sagar Gorkhe, Ramesh Gaichor and Jyoti Jagtap are still in jail. Please listen to them sing. Please find out about the kind of work that they did. Mahesh worked with the Adivasis of Gadchiroli, helping them to get their constitutional rights. It's not just these cases which are by now somewhat well known, the BK16 or the Delhi riots cases, but across the country, young people particularly have been jailed. In Chhattisgarh, for the last 20 years or so, people have been struggling in the face of counterinsurgency. Many thousands have been arrested. According to one estimate, 6,804 arrests have been made in Bastar between 2011 and 2022. And even as we speak, there is a remarkable youth movement in Bastar called the Moolbasi Bachao Manch, which has been protesting against security camps which have come up every 2 kilometers. The whole of Bastar has been turned into one large cantonment. And it's very clear that this is really not so much about the Maoists, but really in order to get the minerals out. And who are the people who are in the Moolbasi Bachao Manch? These are people who have come out of school, have dreams of going to college, but because their villages have been affected by these security camps, have come together peacefully to protest. We've heard about the farmers' protests, which lasted for a year. We hear about the Shambhu protests, but how many of us know that for over 3 years, people in Bastar have been protesting in their villages against security camps, and so many of them have been arrested. The latest arrest is Sunita Potang, who's a 25-year-old young woman whose village was burnt, Korcholi. She's been a human rights activist. She has filed a case in the Supreme Court against mass rapes and killings in Bijapur. And now she's in jail. She was picked up as she was trying to do an exam, was not allowed to meet her lawyers, and was taken to jail without any attempt to allow her a change of clothes. I could read their names: Guddu Kursam, 25 years old; Suresh Avlam, who taught me how to use Bluetooth, because as a technologically challenged senior, these young people, even you think they're in the villages and they don't know anything, but they're really, really young, full of hope, full of their rights under PESA. We have in Kashmir Engineer Rashid, who's an MP but is in jail. Khurram Parvez, who's been a human rights activist, member of the Asian Federation Against Involuntary Disappearances, who's in jail. There are many, many Kashmiri journalists and others who are in jail. And whatever case the government or the police have against all of these people, there is no reason why they cannot be given bail. They are not like Nirav Modi or Vijay Mallya, who are running away with thousands of crores of the people's money. These are people who will have been struggling for their fellow citizens, who will be staying here. They should all be given bail immediately.